Hello, everyone. My name is Carlotta Electra, and this is Crazy Talks with Carlotta, where we talking about how that's crazy. And today, I would like to welcome my very special guest. His name is Tavion Napier.
Hello.
Run it up, yo, yo. So, it's been a minute since me and Tavion really been able to chop it up. But here we are.
Yeah.
Life brings us on journeys, and it takes us to mysterious places. But sometimes you get to have those full circle moments, and this is one of them. So I get to revel in a personal experience a little bit here because I feel like when I've been through a lot of I guess just various counseling and classes, they often ask you about your really memorable positive experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And then I generally reach for Youmacon in 2000, it was either 2017 or 18.
Yeah.
So I actually did get to briefly explain this story to a friend of mine, but I'll regale. So at the time, I was sponsored by a gaming venue, and this allowed me to go to Youmacon, a convention in Detroit. And for me personally, my journey was kind of special because I've never been to a convention before, and I never been to a fighting game tournament of this size. The ones I competed in were of a different capacity and not like an actual tournament with a TO and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was super psyched because I've literally been watching tournaments related to games like Mortal Kombat for such an extended amount of time, but now I'm actually in one.
Yeah.
And then
With pros.
Yes, because I didn't sign up at Smash.gg, which, by the way, if you ever want to enter a tournament, make sure you sign up first because they might place you against that individual who has been training very specifically to beat the reigning victor. And that was what happened to me. I remember very specifically thinking that this being on this stage was so cool because the sound effects were like boom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I love my character's respective sound effects. Shout out to Firestorm. But I thought this was so hype, but I went into it with my regular game plan, and I realized I was not facing a regular opponent.
Mm-hmm.
My bro was like an android. He was so locked in. I remember genuinely getting through it, and then after I lost the first match, I did one of these. I had to look to the other side of the monitor. I had to look, and I was like, "Who is this man? He's like a robot. He had a game plan for my game plan's game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he knew everything about my character, and man, I tried to adjust, and I had a few moments of spurs something, but it was not enough. In losers, I faced against the legendary Forever King.
Oh no!
In losers, so I'm gonna send this to him too, but he is so cool. He told me about the person I opposed or I faced in that first round. And I was the first match, by the way. And he explained to him
on stream.
Yes.
Yeah. I was commentating.
You were there, and you were curious as to whether I was going to switch to the turtles, but I'll get back to that in a second. But okay. He explained to me that he was the guy who came to beat him, and that was pretty crazy. And I played against his Batman, which was insane because he's got a plans for the plans, master plans plan. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, and he's like a truck. So I got to play against him, and that was super cool. And then I watched the rest of the event, which was even cooler. I watched his brother bust out one of the Ninja Turtles in finals, and that was a huge. It was like you're bringing some what most people would consider to be low tier tech into this situation, but you're playing it really safe and precise, and you did it with purpose, and it was working. And I go, oh, because I guess Donatello would be my last pick for the situation, but this is what he did. And it was amazing. It was an awesome tournament. And then the next day, shout out to Forever King again. I was at the tournament venue, and then he shared his liquor in his flask, and it was this blueberry vodka that was the essence of amazing. Some of the best liquor I ever had, and it's being shared with me by a dude who I just think is the GOAT. So I got to enjoy a convention for the first time. I definitely walked around a lot, and I was interested in the whole thing. I thought it was so cool. And in fact, at my current position in life, I actually want to go to more conventions.
Cool.
And I want to cosplay as Ezio or Daredevil. I want to go in.
Yeah, and I think I want to give more context too, like more gravity to the situation, because Youmacon is probably it was or is the biggest con in like Michigan, I would say.
Okay, because it was massive.
It's in Detroit. It was in Detroit, somewhere in the area, and it's a huge anime convention. But I also knew the people who ran like a tournament called the Youmacon Battle Opera back then, right? So I think that I had gotten access by like being a paid commentator. I think I was like why I was going, and I was like, yeah, you should go. But also, one, the game is Injustice, which that game just does not get enough recognition. I love that game, and there's not many people that I know that like that game, but like that's my favorite NRS game. Like I'm sorry for any Mortal Kombat fans, but I would pick Injustice over Mortal Kombat any day. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll hear that.
But Forever King is literally like one of the top 10 or top 5 best Injustice players in the world, and one of like the best was one of the best NRS players in general. But like he was known for Injustice. So just to understand that Carlotta was playing against literally one of the like he is the winner of Youmacon Battle Opera every year. Like he is known to go to that tournament and win. He's number 1. So I just want to put that out there that he's on stage. There's probably like 500 to 1,000 people on the stream watching at this point, and then the place is packed. It's a huge convention. It's a huge tournament inside of a huger convention. So a bunch of people walking around. So it like at the age, I don't remember how old you were, but at that age,
17,
like
18 maybe.
It was just it's crazy. And like me going in as like your coach, I'm pretty sure I would have said to play a lot of casuals. And probably after the tournament that made more sense. I'm curious to know from your perspective, because like the reason I said play a bunch of casuals is because I knew the level of competition of where you were at. Like I knew you were good for the area, probably like one of the best in the area at that time for the game. I guess it's not saying too much, because like you and I know that people who say, "Oh, I'm good at fighting games," if you're not going to a weekly or something like that, you're probably going to get bodied by like one of us. So
not get bodied.
But like yeah, in game. But yeah, so I'm curious to know, like, because my mindset was, yeah, he's going to get 0-2'd, and then like as long as he has a good mental, he can get a lot of good experience from this. Like that was my hope, because I couldn't control you winning. Like you weren't. I knew the competition. They're pros. You know, they travel, they compete, and you're still inexperienced. So like, yeah, what was your like thought after that, and like the experience playing the games and getting the like? Did you play casuals? I don't know if I asked that or not.
I can't recall whether I think I played a little bit of casuals, and I definitely was warming up quite a bit. It's just that I was warming up mostly on combos. But what I can for sure definitely say is when I saw some of the other players competing, and there was like, for instance, there was a player playing Robin, and he was having actually good matches. And I'm just watching him like, both of these opponents right here, I would have wanted to. It would have been so much more like exciting, because it would have been an actual match instead of me basically not almost getting steamrolled. So I think that part definitely disappointed me a little bit. And I will go ahead and mention that Forever King did beat that guy I played in the first round.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he was completely like
merciless.
It was just crazy. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was flying all over the place. What I can say, well, like this is solidified fact, that I continued to play ranked sets online for an extended amount of time. Like I put probably 1,300 hours or something into this, and then I started playing exclusively the Turtles, and I had mixed amount of success, because I especially against top tier characters like Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern. A lot of these certain characters gave me a lot of problems, and I had to manage around some really specific things. But after you do it for a while and you really just fight through it, you become so locked into this matchup that you will come against players, a competent Starfire player, Dr. Fate player, or something along those lines. And I start to get that edge on them, because I don't know if I just get in their head or my mix-ups just finally start to work. But essentially, I take W's with just starting off with a really low tier character like, say, Raphael, and then gravitating towards Leonardo. It was basically my strategy, and is what helped me scrape by W's in those first 2 threes against really tough players and it was a game of purely momentum. I quite simply just wanted to make sure that I would get a little bit of lead and best to maintain it, because the leverage would switch so fast. And I don't know, that new game plan worked enough that it got me above the top 500 in the leaderboards. And I've remained there. It's because my win percentage with specifically the Turtles became better than my Firestorm percentage. It was a solid 75%. Like, yeah, I'm proud of that number. I had to work hard. I had to improve a lot upon what I learned in those previous competitions. Like, I remember when I faced other Cheetah players after I had played in that first round at Youmacon, I already knew kind of what it was to expect. Like, I basically had to understand why this character was working so well in this game's meta.
Yeah.
And once I understood that, I'm like, okay, I need to know specifically what mix-ups to be aware of and how to avoid them. And when it would work, when I would make the right read, like, say, neutral jump out of a throw attack, boom, if I get the punish, we're playing the game correctly, y'all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's so hard to articulate to people who haven't played like a game, especially fighting games at a higher level, where once you master the mechanics enough to not like the errors are pretty minimal, and you know the opponent's character well enough to understand like, okay, it's my turn here. Here, like, you know your general rules of the character. The game changes. It turns into just basically fast-paced chess, you know, and it becomes more of, oh, I didn't just drop that combo and they took advantage of it. It's oh, he knows this, you know, which is Yomi. I know that you know that I know, right? That's like the fighting game term. It becomes that push and pull, and then if you get into that flow, or if you want to be more esoteric, you know, the rhythm or the flow of it, or more logical about it, you know, like really reading your opponent and like predicting what's going to happen, it feels so good, especially when it's a game you're really passionate about.
Right. And I love Injustice, and I've been really wanting them to do another. I don't know if anything will compare to the release of Injustice 2 for me, because I was 17.
Yeah.
And it was just iconic for me at the time. But you know, Mortal Kombat 1 was great, and I think the Mortal Kombat community kind of all just went back to Mortal Kombat X. And I respect it.
Yeah.
MKX was this game of savagery. If you're not doing offense, you're not really playing the game. But if you don't understand how to defend against a specific character's specific kind of offense, you just might lose and keep losing.
I think, like, I'm sorry for all the non-gamers out there.
Yeah. This is something else.
But I will say, because I don't get to talk about this stuff too often. There's not a lot of NRS players in our locals right now, but except for one guy. As someone who's not an NRS player, and I'm not a big fan of how people talk about like games in general. I'm a former developer, so I don't like the discourse in the FGC. Especially NRS fans can be a little toxic. But like I also want to blame to some extent non-NRS players, like non-Mortal Kombat fighting game players, right? Because a lot of us came to the game for different reasons. Like we've all played Mortal Kombat. It's like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are two games like from my era, Millennials and Gen X, that we played them, right? And so we're going to try it. And I think a lot of people didn't know what to expect, especially since it was a pseudo tag fighter. It was like Marvel 1 almost, where you had assist characters, but not like a tag system.
Right.
And especially for me, like I couldn't get into it because I just wanted to do MK stuff without an assist. And like, I don't know. I hope that NRS bounces back. I like NRS. Well, they seem really passionate. Ed Boon's pretty cool.
I got to say, the one positive thing the community did do, and this is extremely slept on, and I'm so proud to be able to say this because I do know some of the original portion of my subscribers are all gamers.
Cool.
The last like 40 or so are probably not all gamers, but we you know, shout out to y'all because this is episode 5. We getting down. But like low key, Mortal Kombat, it started out as Mortal Kombat versus DC when I was a kid, which was well and great. That's one thing. But when Mortal Kombat 9 or Mortal Kombat 2011 came out, it was mad different because point 1, Freddy Krueger's in the game. Hold that. Point 2, this game is whatever you want it to be, but the competitive aspect of the base game is a little dicey. And if you know, you know. But the community made a tournament version of this game, and they basically reworked all of the characters' frame data and how their like specials work and stuff like that. I don't have a PC, but if I did, I'm downloading it because it sounds cool. I think it's cool that the Mortal Kombat community could go to specifically a game like this where the tournament presence was really strong. And I've never competitive. I've never, you know, had any competitive nature in this particular game, but I know it's super fun. I love this game, and I strictly play like a lot of the same characters, but maybe with some of the changes, I might actually branch out more. It's not every fighting game I play makes me super compelled to do that. It kind of varies. This is probably the one game where I had a more varied cast of playable of characters I enjoyed playing. And based on this is from a hot minute ago, but what I saw based on their concepts and everything, it blew my mind. They could do something like change a special to have to like say a special that wasn't a combo launcher turning it into a combo launcher or vice versa or something like that.
Like a patch or something that changes it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also patching, like, I guess in that particular game, there was a player one advantage, and this remained.
I heard that.
Yeah, I guess this would be a thing in tournaments.
I thought they fixed it.
I know they fixed it in the tournament edition. I don't know if they fixed it within the game's life because I was legit a baby.
Wait, which game is this one?
MK9.
9. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I guess
that was a different time.
Hey man, it was by when Mortal Kombat X.
Barely born?
Yeah, I was barely a thought. I'm just like.
Oh, don't make me feel that old. I've been around since before MK1. So. Damn. Oh no.
Damn. Yeah, we've entered into a new age where everything's got to be revamped now.
Yeah.
And speaking of revamping, if NRS, if you're listening, Injustice 3, like, it's around the corner. We're waiting.
They've been teasing something.
Let's get to it faster.
They've been teasing something on there, and I'm like, it better be Injustice. I don't want anything else but Injustice, please.
Yeah, because it has been a little left field lately with DC games. Well, how about this? Tell the world about yourself, your profession, your area of expertise, and what have you.
Yeah. So when you met me, I think I was just coaching or volunteering at Kalamazoo Central. The following year, I got picked up by Western. So I was in charge of running their esports program and their arena. And that was, my career basically just took off around 2018, because I was doing YouTube prior to that. So I was like trying to like do full-time YouTubing and live coaching while working various different jobs. And I had hit 1,500. I remember this is like significant for me because it was 1,500 subscribers on YouTube in 2018, right before I got hired in. And like I was starting to generate some money, and the numbers were like going to keep going. So I was interviewing pro players, tournament organizers, and like people in the FGC, basically, right? And then all my attention and all my creative energy went into the program for Western. Without getting into all the details, you know, I worked there for 4 years from 2018 to 2025 in May. So it's almost, I just passed the 1 year anniversary of being gone from Western, actually. During the pandemic, they shut down for like a year, maybe a half, and then they picked me back up once they had the funding to do so. It was, when I came back, I think I just wasn't the same person because of the pandemic, because of like being very lethargic. Like years later, I found out that I had asthma, and I had like allergy-induced asthma, in which I attributed to like depression and sleep deprivation and ADHD at the time. And I think there was those factors. It kind of gets into like the mental health aspect of it. But basically, you know, I love my job at Western. I did a lot of really cool stuff there. I got to do some really great events, and my career has just like, continue to grow, both in the FGC and for myself. But after I came back during the pandemic, I just was still not happy. I was just stressed out. And like I was glad that I had my job back, and I had like that sense of security and self-worth and money, but I just was not happy. And I couldn't figure it out. My boss and I talked for like 2 years, and then you know, a year before leaving, I started talking about like, I kind of want to do something else. Like I'm just sitting here reading spreadsheets. My job isn't about being at the arena and talking to the students and like giving people a great experience. It's about reading emails and doing spreadsheets and writing proposals and doing budgets, right? Stuff that I think that other people could do better than me. And I don't know how much you know about ADHD, but I've been diagnosed twice in my life. Once and once again during the pandemic. And I started taking medication for it during the pandemic, and even then I still just was not enjoying or wanting to do what I was doing. And long story short, I ended up leaving last year with like on good terms, and started my own business. And so I started Mastery Coaching and Consulting. It's an esports coaching and consulting firm. So my goal, my target market since leaving there has been to work with youth programs, organizations, schools to bring esports to young kids, right? Like the story with Youmacon, with you, many students at Western, other kids that I worked at Albion College as well, coaching some of the Rocket League and fighting game teams or players. I like seeing the younger people realize their potential and achieve their goals, and doing it through gaming. Right? Like I grew up in an era where it was not possible to get a job in games. Like that was the mindset that parents had of my generation. So
gaming
like
means you don't get job. Job isn't you because you game.
It's like one of my most memorable moments or proud moments in my life was when my dad said that he was wrong about gaming when I got hired in 2018. He was like, "Oh yeah, I was wrong. You can get a job in esports." I'm like, do, because he's a Jamaican immigrant. I'm first generation. He's the guy that like grinds it out all day, and he doesn't complain about whether he likes his job or not is irrelevant to him.
Right.
His priority is paying for his family, sending money back to Jamaica, etc. Totally get that now as an adult, but I wanted to do something that made me happy.
Right.
And it sucked when you work at a job that used to make you happy but didn't anymore. And so now that I've figured that out, it took me a long time to do some soul searching, because being first generation, you don't just leave money. You don't do that. But it was not good for my mental health. And I felt like other people could do the job better than what they were asking of me to do now, since I wasn't really doing what I was originally hired to do.
Right.
So since then, I still work with Western. Like I have clients now, like the Jack and Jill group, which focus on like Black mothers and honoring Black fathers and stuff like that. I got to do a speech in there. I get to work with the Boys and Girls Club as one of the other clients, working with some pro players, and then even potentially some politicians as well.
Okay.
So I'm still in the first phase. Like I have not made a lot of money, but I've had a lot of great experiences and met a lot of connections, and have started to generate money now that I'm in my second year. So that's what I've been doing in a nutshell.
Right.
A lot of family stuff and a lot of personal health too along the way.
So ideally, what this step in the right direction, what it was sort of representing for you, you needed to find something that accommodated your skill set, that utilized it, right? Man, I can't disagree with you in the slightest, because if I'm going to do anything, I would like to hope it's going to make me happy. If I have to do anything and it's not going to make me happy, I'm a pout.
Yeah.
I might cry.
Or it goes against your values at the least.
Yes.
'Cause I have a sales background, and the last sales job that I officially had was insurance.
Okay.
I couldn't support what I was selling. Like once I got licensed to be an insurance salesman, I just did not like the way that system worked.
Right.
And like I'm not going to sell you something that I don't believe in. I can't function that way.
Yeah.
I used to be that way, and then as I got older and figured out what my values were, those became more important than like saving face or whatever.
Right.
Not everyone has that luxury or that privilege, so I understand that. But I'm just saying where I was with my life, I knew what I wanted and what I didn't want.
Yeah.
And was willing to deal with.
If I can't disagree with you at all. If I had to do anything that was against my morals, I'm probably okay. Let's assume I actually began doing something that was against my morals, okay?
Sure.
Give it 60 seconds. I'm going to throw a fit. I'm going to be loud about it. I'm going to be like, this is BS. And it's going to be a rut. So I avoid doing those things. And I try to be calm. So I will say, though, it's super awesome that you managed to do all these different things, because I was kind of thinking going into this, I was like, I wonder if he still does work for WMU. I never got to see this arena for myself.
Man,
is it any good?
It's really cool. There's definitely some like faults, but like the space, we really made it really cool. It's awesome. It's an old theater that got converted into the Esports arena, so it has like an actual stage. Like imagine a theater, but on stage there's a bunch of PCs basically.
Okay.
And then there's a whole booth upstairs that has like a whole live production. So it basically industry standard stuff. So lighting, soundboards, the production software. We had a big screen and everything. That was one of my favorite parts of the job, actually. It was like working with the arena and training students how to live stream, basically. Basically doing a live broadcast, the whole entire operation of a live stream, right? It wasn't just, hey, we're having matches here. There's also students and people doing live broadcasting for it as well. I love that part of it. It was cool. Gaming PCs were good, too.
I would have been into that. I can't say that if I were to compete in Marvel Rivals, I would actually succeed. But
I love that game.
it's another kind of beast. I ain't gonna lie. I had to take a step back from Rivals because it was getting real deep. It's getting real deep. I'm gonna point this flat out that there are all these characters, i.e., examples: Jeff the Land Shark, Luna Snow, Star-Lord, name the Thing, Captain America. They all just keep getting skins. Okay, they keep getting. You know who doesn't get Jack since season 2? We're in season like 7.5 or something like that, by the way. Hawkeye, my main character. He has his default skin. He has like 2 or 3 recolors that said default skin, and then he has 2 actual skins. 2.
Doesn't he have the Ronin outfit?
The Ronin outfit, which is cool. Like that's
you have to have that. That's
yeah,
essential.
it's cold.
And like the old Arrow, doesn't he have like the old Arrow one?
It's a reference to Free Fall comic, which I respect. If it's a reference to an actual comic, I'm very for it in any instance. But come on, Marvel rival devs. Come on, Guam Guam. Why can't I just get one skin? I'm sitting here watching. Thing got in this recent thing. He got like 3 skins. So I don't want to hear it.
They give all the fake characters.
I mean, they're just
the Marvel fan base thirst levels are very diverse.
Yes, they are.
I will respect that. It isn't just your typical like muscle mommies. It's a broad range.
Yeah, I imagine this comes from the illustrations from all of the comics. And as a comic reader,
the Loki Thor, the Loki,
yo,
and the Loki Thor.
Lady Loki, that's my homegirl right there. We get down. We have drinks on the weekends. But going back to esports for a second, this is kind of interesting. So this would have been about a year or two ago. So I'm from Lawton originally, and I grew up there. I played football there. So sometimes I like to revel back. I like to go back. I like to reminisce about the days during Hell Week, when we'd have the cinder blocks. We'd go up and down the hills. All the training we did for football and track and this and that. All types of different stuff. Flipping tractor tires in the sun. All that. Lawton was all about that stuff. Friday Night Lights and everything. But I went back there and I was just basking in the ambience. I'm sorry, I'm enjoying it too much in my head right now. My point is that I actually went up to the school and I opened the door and it's unlocked. There was already something happening outside, like there was some sort of like school pride event. I go inside. I look around the hallways and I'm like, man, this takes me back. I see my old Spanish teacher. Shout out to Miss Senior Dewey. So Senior Dewey, I'm catching up with him for a second. I'm talking about some stuff, and he legit tells me there was this whole door in a wall that I swear to you was not there when I went to school. Like I remember that being a flat wall, and it's a whole esports room. Like he explains to me, they started like a gaming club.
Oh, at Calcin?
No, this was at Lawton High School in Van Buren County.
Oh, okay.
So this would have been a school that was primarily driven in their athletics. And when I was in the drama club, it was nothing particularly massive either, like Kalamazoo Central. That was a big difference for me when I moved to Kalamazoo Central.
Yeah.
But when he was showing me this and he was explaining to me what they're doing there, I said, oh my freaking God. Like, if I was 12 years old and I heard this was a thing, oh my God, I would have felt so seen. Because, like, the only reason I felt seen was because I played football and I did track and I did other things like that. But this was common and prominent. It didn't really make me special, and it wasn't unique to me. It was just something
you did.
It was something I did.
Yeah.
But there were games, like, example, like Gears of War. That was kind of a part of me, yo. I lived that life hardcore at the time.
I was in college when that came out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't know. To hear that's a thing for kids now, and he was telling me about
not
what
Gears
it was
of
like.
War.
No, again, he said they don't do any video games, so maybe I need my bubble's a little big here. But my point
gaming,
yeah, ultimately, they're, you know, whether you have something else that you're interested in or not, there might very well be something for you, and that outlet, it's there. It's something, man.
It is, but there's nobody championing that right now. Like that's like there are. I can't tell you how many schools that I've talked to, how many high schools that I've talked to that, like Kalamazoo Central is kind of like this too, where it's just a guy volunteering. It's just some paid teacher that's usually sacrificing his own time and maybe putting his own money into like getting a little bit of like bringing his own console in or whatever. And it's like why can't we get funding for that for more schools? Like that's awesome that Lawton,
a very small.
Sounds familiar. I've never been there.
Lawton is truly a village. It's not even a city. It's not a township. It's very small.
Yeah,
it's a lovely place though. Yeah,
it's good that they did that because like that one kid that isn't into football or sports or the traditional stuff or like feels awkward at a lot of other social interactions. Like it's the one thing that makes them light up. Right. You know? That's where they shine.
Or just generally they have different interests or different prerogatives. Maybe they can't play sports for some reason.
A lot of kids get injured and get into esports. Like I can't tell you how many soccer kids got into Rocket League after they took an injury in college or in high school.
That makes sense.
Tracks.
That makes sense. You know, you can break a collarbone real playing football.
One of my best players when I coached a Rocket League team at Western, he was probably arguably the best player, but also the most like emotionally unstable player. But he came to school looking at a scholarship for soccer, I think, and then got injured. And now he was like literally like top 100 in Rocket League on the leaderboards.
Okay.
Dude was crazy.
Right.
But he couldn't play Rocket League anymore, or he couldn't play soccer anymore. So it's like you still get that competitive edge out of you if you can't play sports. I like playing sports. I did football, track and field, hockey, karate. I do taekwondo now. Like I love physical activities, but I also think that there's like a zen to gaming as well.
Right. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've done martial arts and practicing things like Kali or Eskrima, and just general know-how with nunchucks and staffs and stuff of the like. But I recently had a thought, and I'm like, I could continue to invest my time in this kind of training, which I used to do a lot. Now that I'm at this point in my life, I can do whatever I want. But I when I was in all these different types of counseling classes and what have you, sometimes they'd ask you, if you were to pick up a new hobby, what would you do? And I'd remember back to when I was 8 or 12 years old, and I said, I think I'd pick up skateboarding, because I have good protective gear for my ninja stuff, and I'd be able to navigate that. So I recently have picked up skateboarding. My skating shoes aren't quite here yet, but I'm fleet of foot. I know parkour. I think I can handle it. But ultimately, I am brave and ambitious because I want to try something new involving physical activity. In fact, I feel like I probably might not, I could be wrong, I might not sweat as much skateboarding as I do practicing martial arts in the freaking heat.
Probably not. Well, you'll have that wind like drying off your sweat. So it'll feel good.
Yeah.
I like cycling, so
okay.
I like that feeling.
Yeah.
Get your cardio, but you get like a lot of high speeds too.
I'm going to apply myself and learn new things.
Do it.
And if anybody wants to do it with me, what?
Makes you more valuable.
Yeah.
For yourself, and skateboarding might seem like it makes no sense, but it might disconnect like 10 years later. I can't tell you how many useless skills that I had that all of a sudden became very useful. So you never know.
Yeah. Well, this is my little interesting tidbit. I've been watching a YouTuber. His name is King Roberts, and he did this thing where he essentially was getting to round 100 on a series of zombies maps in Black Ops 3, but the challenge was he has to not leave his chair. He puts a full-on lazy boy in his room. He's put into his little gaming studio, and then he gets some peanut butter, some jelly, and some bread, and then he sits down there and he just does his intro, and he's like, okay, so the challenge is we have to not leave this seat no matter what. Sleep, do it in the chair. Showers, he's like, we don't talk about that. He was like, so it gave me this idea. Like watching him spend 86 hours getting round 100 on all these maps is crazy. But I particularly enjoyed the parts where he not just for the sake of failing, but where he would fail, where something inherently in this went wrong in his plan, or just a real setback by the inherent structure or mechanics of the zombie map, and then just the intense like what you all call, like he might be on round 75 or something like that, and he's got to restart, and that is so many hours. But you know what? He would muscle through it, and he would just get right back on the horse, and he'd just do it again. And he's pacing against his own endurance.
You probably got some subs along the way too.
Oh yeah. So while I don't think I would quite do that, I've been playing some PS2 games that have varied ranges of difficulties. I'm talking about Tony Hawk's Underground 2.
Classic.
I'm talking about Turok Evolution.
Classic.
Marvel Nemesis, Rise of the Imperfects.
Well, I have that game on the Xbox. Well, I don't have my Xbox on me, but yeah.
That game challenged me in some specific ways, but I rose to the challenge, and I locked in so hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have that little bit of that dog in me now.
I wish they would remake that game.
That is a point I'm here for all the time, because it was a sick game. It was
Marvel
such a sick game.
Ultimate Alliance.
Yes.
Or X-Men Legends.
Yes. They definitely do need to remaster Ultimate Alliance.
More
for sure.
games, please.
Yeah.
Marvel, please.
We don't.
Tokon looks good, but more co-op games.
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it. I like classic retro games, respectively, for what they are. And this might sound lame, but recently I saw a post on Reddit about someone's basically tier list for best PS2 games, and on S tier was the game Shrek 2. Your face right now.
I wish I had my soundboard right now.
I just know what's funny about this. So this was a game I used to play, and it is actually pretty fun. I ain't gonna lie. It feels like the actual Shrek 2 movie with added parts. So one of the characters you can play is Little Red Riding Hood, or Little Red. She's not cute and innocent. She's like a total.
She have like guns or something?
No, she's a badass. She throws apples and will whack you with the little the picnic basket.
Okay.
Her, Gingerbread Man, and Puss in Boots, These are some awesome characters.
True.
If I might revisit this game with a friend of mine, and he might be doomed to play it with me.
I've never played this game, and I try not to judge without playing the game first, but everything tells me in my body that this can't be number one.
It's
a game based off a movie
it's something.
is enough information for me to be like, no, there's no way.
Well,
but
licensed games just are what they are. They just exist.
they pump them out there real fast usually. But
I mean,
sometimes you get good bangers. Like there's a DuckTales game out there. That's really good.
Word. There is a
Sega
Looney
Genesis.
Tunes Space Race I have not played since I was a kid. And it's in full Technicolor visuals.
Uh-huh.
And it's a full-on racing game. Like, you pick Wile E. Coyote, Bugs Bunny, all of them.
The Tiny Toons game is good too. They have like a lot of like sports games and like sports mini games in it.
Oh, right.
Super Nintendo, I think.
But I think the biggest challenge I got served was Lord of the Rings Return of the King was kind of a problem on one player.
Okay.
It was kind of a problem. People say they need to remaster that game, but I'm like, awesome licensed game because of respectively what movie it derives from, but there was it felt like some unnecessary challenges in just trying to get through the first burn of this game with a player. I don't know. It was cool and everything, but I really had to dig deep.
Yeah,
this is when the
co-op. Yeah.
This is where the King Roberts in me had to come out. I failed, but I got back up again. I rose up and I succeeded. Maybe I walked away from the PS2 for a little second, but I eventually was like, nah, bro, I'm gonna correct my mistakes. I'm gonna learn and adapt and evolve.
Good mindset to have.
Yeah.
Teach kids that mindset too with video games, if they like games at least, because like a lot of kids do not deal with failure very well, and that's like a skill that the sooner you learn failure / rejection, the better you bounce, like the sooner you bounce back from it and learn how to like learn from it. So I like to throw that out there with the kids and stuff.
Right.
I did summer camp, so a lot of that stuff is kind of burned into my brain now.
You know, when I was a very young kid, I beat a PS2 game called War of the Monsters. It was like a kaiju monster fighting game. It's awesome. They actually remastered it on PlayStation if you want to pick it up for $5. Well, it's not a remaster. It's just copy and pasted onto the yeah, basically. So I remember when I finally beat the game. I remember this was the first time I basically realized it. I've never beaten a game from beginning to end like bang, like roll
One
credits.
sitting?
Well, not in one sitting. Just like as a kid, like I must have been like 6 or 7. And when it said roll credits, I was like, dang, so I actually just beat the game. I remember my dad. He carved something in the back of my controller just to like a tally. Just for
How many games you beat?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know. When I had that first one, I was like, we are bound to be a future completionist.
Yeah. I'm doing that right now. I'm going back and like I'm sure your game, like if you have gaming listeners, then they probably have a Steam catalog of like games they bought on sale. I have a bunch of those, so I try to stream myself just beating a lot of single player games these days. That like it feels bad having a game you've never even touched or played it and then never beat it.
Yeah.
Even as an adult. So
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
I bought Oblivion Remastered last year, and I didn't quite get to finish really playing it too much. I'm replaying it on my own, but otherwise considered, there's a lot of content my YouTube channel didn't really get delivered on because they were really enjoying my Skyrim live stream. And then I was trying to introduce Oblivion gameplay in there as well. And my Marvel Rivals gameplay was attracting a new player base. But at the moment, we're gravitating towards podcasting. But I will go ahead and note, in the coming future, when I'm done just playing PS2 games and my budget will allow it, we are going to go back to streaming, and it's going to be a wonderful experience. I'm particularly looking forward to navigating that when the time comes, because I'm at liberty to do what kind of stuff I want.
Nice.
I think it'll be fun. Maybe I'll download the Dagoth mod on my Skyrim.
What are you usually ranked on Rivals?
On Rivals?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you. I only play quick match.
Oh, okay.
Basically, there was a reason for this. At first, when I started playing the game, this is my first time picking up a game of this kind.
Oh, okay.
And so I was just getting used to it, and I realized I was enjoying it, and then I started enjoying it way too much. And when I got good at it, at that point, I'm just rage baiting people, but I'm also facing, I guess I didn't want to start competitive because I was playing at the library, and the connection is super inconsistent. Like the packet loss, it will be like crazy sometimes. So I wasn't really interested on doing competitive on those specific computers. But if I get another console or whatever and I get to start beginning again soon, then I will eventually go down the competitive route if I feel like it's gonna work out.
Yeah, if you ever get on like PC and want to play comp, let me know. I haven't played a lot lately.
Okay.
If I were to grind it out, I'd probably hit plat or diamond before the end of the season.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty good at every role too.
Okay. Well, I only play Hawkeye, so I'm super helpful.
Oh,
I
no.
don't think I'm the main character at all. And if I miss my shots for the first couple games, just give it a second, because eventually I'll start landing everything, and then I just know when I have success, it's kind of mind blowing because you can just kind of see it. I start getting like team wipes, and it makes all of the struggle worth it. Okay, for our last 5 minutes, is there anything else, or I can actually extend? I'll extend the time a little bit if need be, if there's something else you would like to explore, but. Typically, we have a 45-minute runtime. We're at 40 minutes.
Yeah. I would say this next topic would be too much. What I'll touch on at least is that one of the reasons I left Western outside of like what I already listed was because I wanted to talk more. I wanted to be more vocal about what's happening in our government, and I didn't want anybody else to be tied to my name. So like, I wanted to be able to criticize what our government's doing openly. And so it's a lot of what I've been doing outside of my work and family has been talking about like politics, that trying to build up like my own following just from like starting TikTok and doing YouTube shorts and just talking about some of these political issues. And so I could talk about that at length for a long time, but that's one of the most, I think, important things outside of everything we talked about is just like not just having an opinion, but having a well-informed opinion on what's going on and like having rational thought. And I've debated a few MAGA people. That's been interesting.
Well, yeah, know that. If you ever want to come back in the podcast, we can definitely have this kind of discussion because it's a little overdue because it's around, there comes a time where we are ready. But this is my piece. So there's a network, I guess you can call them that. The Midas Touch Network. Yeah. They're a YouTube channel, their respective news network. So they play clips straight out of, things related to the White House. They're going to give it to you. He's going to explain a little bit of the situation. You'll be like, guys, this is what's going on. But if you don't believe me, roll the clip. And the clip don't lie. Like legit, one time there was a clip, and this is from, oh man, I don't remember how many months ago, but one time there's a clip of someone throwing duffel bags out the White House window, and naturally you ask people about this, they just kind of, it was just a testing exercise or whatever, right? But the film don't lie, okay? But furthermore, I will say this morning I was watching some Midas Touch Network, and it was just specifically Congress essentially like cross-examining individuals from the Department of Defense. And there was I could explain, but this would be the simplest way to put it. Being really evasive about questions can really piss off Congress when they're asking you really basic questions, like super basic. Yeah. There was a Congress member who was asking, the leader of our military, like one of the leaders of the military service. He says, "This is the code for our military right here. You know it well, right? You do know it." They'd be like, "Yes." He says, "I need you to read this specific code for me just real quick." And then he legit would just respond over and over and over again. He'd be, "We are going to follow the military code to a T, sir." And it's just like, and then the congressman is just like, you're blatantly disrespecting Congress and the Constitution by this. And yeah, the deflection is crazy, and the corruption and the I have a better word than corruption. These people compromised. Yeah. So
it's like watching an NPC only respond with limited dialogue, and then all the people watching that don't seem to recognize that discrepancy. No. Like all the MAGA, all the Trump supporters, they just live in a different reality, and they can somehow have a person that isn't willing to be honest when forced to be honest. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, I'm not a Democrat. Like, I've been very vocal about the fact that like I'm an independent that does not, like, I'm willing to criticize whoever. And it's just not equal. Like the way that they're acting is ridiculous.
I think when I was hearing these things, I think a part of me was disgusted because this has to do with people who are serving in the military, and it has a lot to do with trust. And if I was deployed and it was because of some straight up BS and I wasn't really being cared about, I think that would be real messed up. I'm not sure how it would feel because I've never been in the service. But I was kind of disgusted, and it made me feel not so good just because, like, a part of me recalled, wait a minute, 10 years ago, this was the start of a problem. It was the tip of the iceberg. And since then, it's progressed into something so completely different. And we hardly need to explain because everyone probably has a pretty clear and concise idea of what's going on and what we're talking about, generally speaking. But at what point is it going to end? I hope soon. The circus act isn't funny anymore. And I think transparency is what the American people deserve. It was weird because for a second today my mind connected, wait a minute, they're supposed to be transparent with the American people about a lot of these very specific things. And I go, wow, it's been a minute since we've had that, haven't we? Huh? All right, y'all. All right, I'll close this out. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. If y'all are subscribed, I appreciate you, but just double check to make sure you're subscribed. Leave a like. Comment if you want to engage with us. If you want to collaborate, anything like, I'm super open to it. Us here at Electra Enterprises, we welcome you. And this is Crazy Talks with Carlotta, where we talk about how that's crazy. Closing out. Bye, y'all.